Hello, how are you doing? It's Harrison. Um, yeah, so welcome to my front porch. Uh, I've recorded here many times, and yeah, it's comfortable to do it here, right? And it's nice to do it outside. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Um, don't really have anything that I plan to talk about. I'm getting distracted. I don't really have anything I plan to talk about. I just I felt like creating a video would just feel good to me in this moment. So I'm just doing that because I'm alone in the house right now. And my dad is basically in the hospital because of his lymphoma. And he's been doing worse lately. And that's been hard. Um, to be honest, the hardest part is not what you think it is. The hardest part is not. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know if this doesn't make me look good. I don't think, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. The hardest part is not that I am watching a loved one suffer. That's not the hardest part. The hardest part is that um, is that everything from my old world is crumbling away. Crumbling is a judgment. It's disappearing. That's proper neutral. I grew up in this house here, the same one since I was 7 years old, and my parents were together. And I went to a fun high school, and now a lot of those high school friends, they're building families. They're kind of too busy for me. And my mom left, and my dad is sick. So, they're both gone or going, and they're old anyway, right? And that community from school is mostly gone because, like I said, everyone's doing their own thing, and and I grew up with eczema. I grew up with really severe eczema, and that's healing. And that, of course, you would think is good, but I don't know who I am without my eczema. I've never I've never been healthier in my life. I've never been less codependent. I'm actually starting to live the life I want to live. And I'm going to tell you, it's really scary. It's very, very scary. I wrote a poem that I don't have with me. Maybe I'll read it to you one day. The gist is that Harrison spent so many years in the cage, and one day the cage opened, and the first thing he did was not run outside the cage, it was retreat far back into it as deep as he could. And he realized that his first step was not getting used to the light, was not stepping out into the light. It was getting used to the idea that he could possibly be free. Does that make sense to anyone? um, I feel like I'm free. I feel like I can create and live any life that I want. And with that is coming such a huge grief for me. There's so much grief in in releasing the old life that I knew. When I look when I look at what's possible for me today, my past life feels so jail cell, dressed up all fancy with nice lights and pretty colors and fancy clothes, so it doesn't look like a jail cell. Does that make sense? But it kind of was. It felt very growing up felt very imprisoning for me. Imprisoning in my body because of the eczema that was hurting, so I couldn't be as active as I wanted to. Imprisoning in terms of intimacy. I was a closeted gay guy. I just was so afraid to try to live the romantic life that I wanted because I didn't see any role models for it, and I was afraid of what other people would think, and I was afraid of being touched, and I was just, it's just, like sex is not a world that we're taught to navigate, so we have to all do it all on our own. And I just felt so scared and overwhelmed at the idea of doing something so intimate that I had no guidance or no one talked about it. There's no roadmap. So it made me too scared to even want to try, right? So that's that story's fading actually. I'm getting more open to the idea of like you just dance from your heart, and when you find someone who loves you, then they will accept your heart, and then you don't have to worry about how it looks, right? Like if they love you, they don't care how it looks. They love you for you. It's deeper than how you're presenting or your skills. um, there's a way that you can. They care about you deeper than that, you know. And I was thinking about. Um, I had this weird meditation one day, and it said this. I don't know if it's true, but here's what it said. It said that um, one of the biggest pains in Chinese culture, like collective Chinese culture, one of the largest wounds, emotional wounds that we have is the is the life unlived. It's the life that you did everything right, you look perfect, you hit all the goals, you did everything society asked of you, and yet you're not happy because you didn't choose your life. You chose the life that society and other people told you to live. And you put all your energy into doing it perfectly. And at the end of the day, it doesn't make you happy. And then there's the fear that if you live the life you want to live, then everybody is going to abandon you because you're no longer towing the party line, because the underlying um, the word is ancestral allegiance. The underlying ancestral allegiance is that you sacrifice your sense of self and you sacrifice your own desires for the collective. And if you don't do that, if you dare to be yourself, then you are not playing the game the way you should. And so other people might punish you for that or feel jealousy towards you for that or something. So that was my meditation. It was that one of the largest wounds in Chinese culture is that we will do everything right on the surface and suffer from unhappiness underneath because we are not pursuing and putting our energy into what we authentically want to do. We are pursuing what we should do or what we're told to do. And that will be a very painful life, right? To feel as though you're too afraid. I'm speaking of myself here too. That's how I know about this wound. But I just sense it's the collective. It's not just me, but it is me. It is me. The fear that if you live the life you want, that you will be abandoned, which is not just a Chinese fear. That's everyone. But I'm just saying the Chinese flavor on it is okay. Well, then I'll be perfect at everything. That's how I'll earn love, right? I'll be perfect at everything. And no. And if people, this is this this broke my heart. Look at my hair. This broke my heart when I discovered this. Um, if you do everything perfectly and people love you, let's say you did it right, let's say people do love you because you did it perfectly, they don't love you because they don't know you, right? If I, Harrison, am the best figure skater in the world, and I'm the best coffee maker in the world, and I'm the best, I don't know, uh, clothing maker in the world, well, the truth is, I'm not into figure skating. I don't like the smell of coffee. And what's the third thing? I'm just not super into dressmaking. I might be actually. I would love to try it one day, but you get what I'm saying, right? If people love you for something that's not authentic to you, then you are not loved because what they love is a mask. It's a fake aspect of you. And what we all want in life, and I believe in general, is to be loved for who we are, not for who we are not, not for who we're performing as, right? Loved for who we are naturally. So an example would be like I think authenticity is a big thing for me. Authenticity means you're just sharing what's truly on your heart. And it's not about whether it looks good, it's not about whether it's nice, do you swear or not. Authenticity is just, it's a frequency where you can tell that the person sharing is really just honest, right? And the honesty between one person to another person looks differently, right? Because everyone has different mannerisms and blah, blah, blah. But you can tell when it's honest versus not. And so, for example, I want people who value me for my authenticity. And some people are not into that. In fact, there's no one person who you'll never be loved by you'll never be loved by everyone, because any trait that's important to you, um, you're into competitiveness. Some people are not, right? You're into Japanese culture. That's a squirrel. Japanese culture, and some people are not. That's not a personality trait. You're very sexual. Some people are not into that, right? You tell a lot of jokes. You're very humorous. Some people actually don't want that. They're very serious, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what trait you have. Some people will love it, some people will not. And I think it's about I think it's about being yourself and trusting and learning that there are people out there that want you for who you are. Everyone has times when they think that no one will love me for me, but if you can zoom out, you'll see that every single personality trait is loved by someone, right? Um, we think maybe that our authentic selves won't be accepted, but your authentic self will be accepted by someone, multiple people, actually. Because, like I said, every single flavor out there has a place. Alex Jones shouts a lot, Donald Trump shouts a lot, and a lot of people love them, like genuinely love them, not just like fake love. Like I bet you know what I mean? And yeah, if you're super sexual, someone loves that. If you yell a lot, someone loves the authenticity of that. Someone loves the passion of that, maybe, right? If you um, if you're very emotionally intelligent, someone loves that. Other people are triggered by it, but some people love it. Some people want that in their life. That one's about me, emotional intelligence. So yeah. Um, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. 13 minutes. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm very happy that I shared from my heart today, because that's exactly what I did. So I'm happy about that. And yeah, I'm in this big transition right now. Huge life turnover. Everything that was part of my past is fading. Just about everything. Parents, friends, mindset, eczema, health. Just, my hair's longer. I used to only have one section at the back that's long, and now everything's long. Um, I've rebought my clothes. I have this like beautiful all cotton clothing. My parents had bought me stuff from thrift store stuff, which is not bad in and of itself, but they didn't have an eye for texture. And I decided to buy all my clothes fresh because I'm thinking like I'm gonna have this for the next 5, 10 years, hopefully, 5, 6, 7 years. So I will invest in it, right? And that's what I did, and I love these clothes. So like everything about my life is changing. Everything is just my old life is just totally fading away. And yeah, there's a lot of grief and a lot of sadness and a lot of directionless and a lot of powerlessness and a lot of pain and a lot of depression and all of that. In this big transition for me, it has a lot of difficult emotions. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. All of this stuff it's just clearing out, and it's scary and it's painful for me. Um, and I worry about my dad a lot, because my dad has always struggled with change, and he is facing some of the biggest and scariest changes of his life as well, in part because that's what I'm doing. I'm kind of forcing it on him because we live together. and I want to do some cord cutting with him, which I think will freak him out because that means he has to deal with this stuff even more, right? Because I'm not going to be there to handle it or take his bullshit because I am not going to anymore. So, and that's scary for me because I kind of sort of codependently bonded myself to him. So that's a whole nother thing. But um, yeah, so being a new person is really scary. A full life revamp is super scary. Super duper 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 scary. Um, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I'm gonna become. I don't know where my life is gonna go, and I think that I'm I think what the universe is asking me to do is to be in the now and trust it and take one day at a time. This notion of have a goal, and like in Naruto, if you don't know Naruto, he wants to be the head ninja of the village. He wants to be prime minister or president. And so that's one of those anime where it's like he has a goal and he's gonna do everything he can to reach that goal, and then by the end of the anime, guess what? He achieves the goal. Like, I hope that's not a spoiler, but he's the main character. I mean, come on. Um, and that's not my story. My story is not that I was born having an idea of a goal and I'm gonna just spend all my effort to get there, and then look, I completed my hero's journey because I wanted to get there and I got there. Um, my my journey is I don't know where I'm going, but every day I'm gonna do my best, and I'm I'm hoping that my life will turn out well, but not from a disempowered place. Not because I'm not trying to make goals or trying to focus. It's just that I don't think that goal setting it set the goal of president and achieve it. I just don't think that's what universe is asking me to do. I think universe is asking me to trust the unknown and to just take one step at a time and just see where it goes, and trust that there's a place for me, and that as I dance with the universe, so as I take one step in front of the other, I'll just be led to where I'm meant to be, to end up in a really beautiful place. And that's a trust thing. That's not a have a goal, set out to achieve the goal thing. Um, Sometimes I wish it was. That would be easier, right? Like my goal is to get married and have kids. Okay, and then you can just make your plan and work your plan, and there's something uh, more solid about that. I'm not sure that's the path for me though, the solidness path. Um, we'll see. I don't know. I'm just every day doing my best, right? So okay, cool ramble, cool ramble. Talk to you later. Bye. Leave a comment on this video if you want to just talk about anything or you have any thoughts based on what I said. Okay, bye.